Hey guys, Rilhon here. Welcome back to another tour video. Today we're going to take a look at the newly completed Oceanic Class, the first of my new mega project I'm doing. I'm going to be attempting, I hope. I'm probably gonna lose motivation, I hope not. I'm going to build every single White Star liner that I can build. Mainly the ones that I have plans for. If I don't have plans of a certain ship, it's going to be hard to build. But yeah, I'm going to try and build all of them in a chronological order. Obviously I've already built the Olympic class, Nomadic, Traffic, Britannic and Georgic, you know. But I'm gonna build the ones I haven't, so yeah. These are the first ones. This is the Oceanic class from 1870. They of course include the Oceanic here from 1870. We have the Atlantic, 1870 as well. She of course ran aground off of Halifax, Nova Scotia. Lots of people died. Here is the Baltic, and here is the Republic. So these two are from 1871, I believe. This one had this new feature, the turtleback added. The forecastle deck was basically covered, so that's a easy way to tell apart the first three ships compared to the last three. These ones were just open. This one was enclosed like this, and the other ones as well. This is the Adriatic, also launched in 1871, and this is the Celtic, launched in 1872. The most unique one with the slightly different funnel. It's more of a cylindrical shape almost, and it has a smaller black top compared to the others as well. So they're a little bit different, but this is by far the most similar class of ships I've ever built. So that's the reason I'm going to release them in a single world, and the showcase and tour videos is just going to be one for the entire class, because it's really not much to say about them individually. So let's begin here. Before we begin though, I'm going to just mention these ones are 433 or 36 feet long. This one, these two here are 446 feet, while the final one here, final two, are 452 feet. So that's just good to keep in mind, because I built three of these at a time. So I built the Oceanic, I built the Baltic, and I built the Adriatic. And then when I finished them, I converted them to their respective sisters. So we have Oceanic and Atlantic. They are pretty much identical. We have the Baltic and Republic, converted to Republic, and then I did the Celtic. So I built them essentially like two steps almost. But yeah, I built the Oceanic, Baltic and Adriatic at the same time over the course of about a month. So yeah. Let us begin here. We'll mostly just tour Oceanic, and I'll point out the major differences between them that I have included. So we have the Oceanic here. Really happy how these ships turned out with the masts, with the sails here. I really like how it looks, as well as the rigging and all that. So she had a total of 4 masts, with mainly the forward two actually having the sails to provide propulsion. This third mast did have some sails, but I believe that they didn't really use this sail that much. They could have an additional sail here as well, like this here, but it's mainly the forward two, and even this sail wasn't really used that much. So they had kind of like a configurable sail configuration, so to speak. Then the last mast here is just, I think these are called stay sails, so they're more just to provide stability, as far as I know. But I'm not really that good with sails, so don't take my word for it. And of course they also had a single propeller. You can see here, very unique or different to what came later with the bronze propellers. This one is just, I think this is made of iron, the same as the rest of the hull. And it's kind of ugly, if you ask me. It was painted red, same as the hull. So yeah, had a single funnel here as well. So It had a combination of sails and yeah, steam powered, which is quite common for the time, but also this would be phased out quite soon after this. I think it's like the Teutonic and Majestic of I forget, the late 1880s. They only had propellers, so these are we're in the like the last stages, the last like tail end of the era of sail, pretty much. So yeah, let's get to exploring them. So we have the boat deck here. You have the bridge here. It's like this is called a flying bridge with the little platform here. You can see out to the sides. You can walk across. We have a little I forgot what it's called. Oh, I'm so unprofessional. Anyway, this is how they communicated with the engine room. Here is the wheelhouse where they steer the ship. There's also a short room behind. Aft is the entrance for Saloon Class, or First Class as it was later known. Led down here, a few decks. But yeah, passengers could walk here, this deck here. There are a total of 6 lifeboats on this deck. The superstructure was mostly this deck house here. It wasn't really even a superstructure, like it was just a deck house. I think it's very different to later ships when the superstructure was actually like a large structure on top that extended out to the sides. But on the Oceanic Class it was just, yeah, a deck house basically. So there are a few more deck houses forward and aft of it basically. So we'll do it as always from the bottom, or from the top to bottom. So let's explore Saloon Class here. We have the staircase here. These tiles here are based on a recovered floor tile from the Atlantic, from her wreck. So up here is the promenade deck. We go down one deck, we get to the upper deck. This is quite a small staircase as you can see, so yeah. Here is the smoke room. Interestingly, we don't really be able to find what the floor was here, or the tiles or the carpet. So I just did a pink, because during this time pink was just like associated with masculinity. It was like changed around World War II to where now blue was masculine and pink was feminine. But from the beginning it was the other way around. So I had this here because you have all the men in here, you gotta have it masculine. That's at least what we thought would fit, at least during this time. And the upholstery is described and the curtains is described as green, so that's what we do now. Let's head outside here to the upper deck. We have some cabins here. This is the chef and assistant chef. There's also a bathroom here. Further aft we have the galley. So this is the Saloon Class galley. Here is the third class galley, or as rather steerage as it was known by this point. And here is the crew galley. Do keep in mind that the Oceanic and Atlantic don't actually have full plans, unlike the Baltic Republic and Adriatic and Celtic. So the Oceanic is based on Baltic's plans, but of course I have to account for her shrunken down length a bit. So yeah, just keep that in mind. Further aft we have the entrance here for the firemen. They could access the uptake for the boilers. You could walk around here. Here is the fireman's entrance, and this is, or fireman's quarters rather. They have a skylight, very nice. This is where they slept. They also had an entrance leading down into the actual boiler room. We'll get to that later. Further aft we have the engineer's entrance, this is where they slept, and they had a mess room. Pretty nice. This led into the engine room. This is where they accessed their workspace. We have the first engineer on this side. And here is an entrance for steerage leading down. We'll get to the ones in the bow as well. Here is it's a deck store. I made it there. There's also the lavatories for steerage class. leading down here as well, but you also have some toilets. Here is the steering gear deckhouse. So back here is the steering gear where they turn the propeller. It was one of the first ships to use like a... I think this was also steam powered, or... I forget exactly, but it wasn't a manual steering setup, which most ships of the time used. This was... mechanical, I guess you can say. I think it was steam powered, I'm not sure though. Here is the ice house, where it had ice, as you would assume. Here's an aft wheelhouse, where they would like have an auxiliary type situation, when you would power the steering gear if the forward one failed. You have the butcher shop in here. And yeah, that's pretty much the wheelhouse here on the aft end. If we go forward here, we get to the anchors and anchor gear in the very front of the forecastle deck. Here is like a deck store for the lamps, lamp blocker. Here is an entrance for the crew leading down into their areas here in the very front of the ship. Various crewmen, seamen, quartermasters, that kind of stuff, or those kinds of professions. Here is another entrance for steerage. So, as with most ships of the time, and indeed many years in the future, the men in steerage was mainly concentrated in the bow. The women and families were concentrated in the stern. So just keep that in mind. So this is the steerage men's entrance here in the bow. We have some carpenter, joiner, lampman cabins here as well. But yeah, here is their accommodations. Open berth spaces. They slept side by side. Quite horrible, but it's what they did. So a sign, or yeah, a product of their time, basically. We have some hospitals here, and like seamen as well. Further aft here we get to a staircase that leads down to more accommodations. This deckhouse here is the officers' quarters deckhouse. So we have the chief officer, third and fourth officers. Then on the other side we have the captain and the second officer. Here's also an entrance to, for Saloon class. They led down into their area or quarters here. We did do this, so let's head down the deck then. I did show all the crew areas here in the bow. Let's head for the aft. Show this area of steerage. Let's go down the proper way to the saloon, or the dining saloon for a saloon class. It's kind of confusing, but yeah, we are now on the saloon deck, where the saloon is fittingly located. So we have it here. Very nice room. It's the largest room on the ship for passengers. Decorated with like pink and white. The walls had a pink floor. Two fireplaces here in the front. You have a bookcase and a piano. So very, very nice. A far cry from steerage, that's for sure. You also have like, I can't really represent this too well, but you had the glasses like hung up above with like oil lamps above to provide illumination. There was also skylights here, so these were kind of hard to represent. These are supposed to be windows, but I couldn't really have actually like glass. It didn't really fit, so I did trapdoors leaning down. And this leads forward to various cabins. They looked like this pretty much. Had like pink and cream walls and red carpets, or not carpets, what do they call? Sofas, that's it. Had wash basins, they had steward's call bells to call for a steward. Very new technology for the time. They had of course beds there as well. We have some lavatories here. We have this door leading into steerage class here that the crew would use probably. Let's head further aft. So we have many more cabins over here. They look like this pretty much. They look the same, all of them. There's a pantry here where you would lower the food down using this hoist, and you would prepare it here, and you would store all of the like cutlery, the utensils, the plates. There is also a baggage hatch leading down, which is very interesting. I don't know why it was here, but I guess they didn't have any other place to put it. Here is the ladies' boudoir. I hate that word so much. I can't spell it, and I can't pronounce it. It's just annoying. Let's just call it ladies' room, for God's sake. Anyway, yeah, this was had green and white walls, and I believe it was red upholstered. It's mostly the green wall. Like, you gotta understand that these ships aren't super well documented, so not all of it's going to be correct. So me and my friend Alex, or mostly Alex, have been researching them, looking through articles, and like trying to find references to their colors and such. And we've been able to find, or Alex has been able to find most of the colors that we needed. So yeah, this is the best we could do. Leading aft, yeah, we have the cabins here. Then we have a door leading through to more steerage. This is mainly families here, I believe, acting like sort of a buffer between the first class. You have the families here, and then you have the single women in the stern. I believe that is the case, at least. You can also notice that they had little like stoves here. I guess like the crew would bring the food down into their quarters, and then they would put it on here to keep it warm, while the passengers would like eat here close by. We have more hospitals in here. There's also a surgery, like the doctor's office. It's not actually where they would cut off legs. Let's go further after here. Yeah, that's pretty much it. There's just like a little store for the crew in the stern there. Let's move forward again. We saw this before, the crew and the steerage area in the bow. And even more steerage. It's just for the men here in the bow, though, as I said. Leading forward here, we have a very small portion of Saloon class. So you have the staircase leading down. Here is their barbershop, which is kind of small, but it's good to have it, I suppose. More cabins here, and then on the other side of the staircase we have some crew areas. So we have the baggage handling room. We have the baggage hold, where they actually put the baggage and stored it. We have the bootery. Bootery. It's a weird word to say. Here's the cooks, and we have the stewards. I'm not entirely sure about what each room here did. It's mostly guesswork based on descriptions, so yeah, we did our best here. Let's move further aft. Oh yeah, we're gonna get to the fun areas now. So this is the boiler room we're going to. So let's go through the fireman's entrance the proper way, and then through this door. We are in the fiddly here. You can see these things are the vents here that provided air to this area. So I imagine it would have been excruciatingly hot though, so they probably wouldn't have been doing much to help. Yeah, we have the boiler room. There were 10 boilers on Oceanic and Atlantic. Baltic and Republic, and of course Adriatic and Celtic had 12 boilers, so they kind of upped the amount a bit. In addition to, there was a donkey boiler on each of them as well, so 11 boilers for Oceanic and Atlantic, and 13 boilers for the rest of them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, yeah, so 11 in total. Here are some coal bunkers around Also coal, they could put coal in here as well, in this cargo hold, if need be. And here is like a coal trimming space up here. There's even more here around the engine room, so let's head into there now. Let's go up again. Let's go down through this engine hatch that provided light and air down. We have the engineers' areas here. This leads into the firemen's. I don't know why they needed a door, but there was one on the plans, so who am I to judge the plans? We have the engines themselves here. Quite different, but also kind of similar to what came after, like, say the Olympic class. Like, obviously, size was a big difference, but also, like, I don't know exactly what these are called on the top. Those weren't here later. You have the cylinders here, of course. I'm not an engine guy, so I am sorry. We have the condenser here on the side to turn the steam that went into the engines back, or turn it back into water. Either send it out here, or turn it, or like send it back to the boilers, basically. We have a circulating pump to get the water, like, circulating in the ship, as the name would imply. I have some various tanks and equipment here. This isn't like 100% accurate for sure, but I did my best. Further aft, we have some more cargo holds. We have cargo holds in the bow and in the stern. And yeah, that's pretty much it. The engine room, of course, is attached to, or the engine is attached to the propeller here. That's the drove the ship forward. So let's have a look, or let's have a quick look at the differences between the ships. So there are no photographs actually of Atlantic in service. We only have photographs of her wreck after she mostly sunk in Halifax. So we know that her, like, what is this called, like a supports underneath the lifeboats, they extended out a bit more, unlike on Oceanic. Oceanic didn't even have the supports. They were added on the other ships though, and later on Oceanic herself. And her, like, supports were also straight. All other ships were curved. So that's the main thing with Atlantic. Otherwise, she's pretty similar to Oceanic, being that they were so similar. They were like direct sister ships. So that's often the case. Of course, here is the Baltic. She is longer than the previous two ships, and she also had a different decorated dining salon, so it was green for walls instead. But the floor remained the same, I believe. So the layout was the same. She was like stretched out a bit, and yeah, that is pretty much it. Otherwise, like, there are many minor changes, but none that are too major. Of course, with the Republic, they added this throttle back to keep the water off the forecastle deck, pretty much. Keep it mostly dry, as best as they could at least. And this was done on the other ships as well. Oceanic and Baltic were later retrofitted to include a turtleback. However, Atlantic, as has been recently discovered, never received a turtleback. You can see that on a wreck, that she never really had it. It was discovered by, I think it was Alex and a few others in the Discord. I forget their names, but yeah, it's quite a recent discovery, which is pretty interesting. Like, you always assume that Atlantic had that changed done to her, but there was never any opportunity for that refit to happen to her, so too bad for her, I guess. We have the Republic here, and then last is the Adriatic and Celtic. Adriatic and Celtic were the longest in the class, and they were probably the most different ones. They were upgraded quite a bit here. The steering gear deck house is a bit like longer. The ship overall is longer, like everything is stretched out the most. They added a deck house here to the funnel because it was discovered that on the other ships it was very common that the boiler rooms would flood. The water would actually reach up here. So they added this deck house and it seemed to fix the problem, or at least alleviate it a lot. So this was done on the other ships as well later. I think... Let's go down to the Saloon again, yeah. So this is kind of an extrapolation and we're not entirely sure if it is correct. But Germanic and Britannic that came after these ships had parquetry flooring with carpet runners in their salon. So we thought that since these ships were built like after the original 4, we thought that, oh well, maybe they also had parquetry flooring. Maybe just to make it them more unique. We're not entirely sure on that one, but yeah, that's what we did. Also, the ladies' boudoir was different on each ship, and we don't know each ship, and it's very frustrating. But we know that Adriatic's or maybe Celtic's was purple. I don't know. I'm not sure if these are correct. I will have to look through that. But yeah, and of course Celtic here had the different funnel, but that's yeah, that's the difference between those two. And that is the difference between these 6 ships. So I hope you have enjoyed this video. Hope you watched the showcase video, and you can also get a world download there if you want to check them out yourself, these ships. So yeah, next up is the Gaelic and Belgic, the first ships of those names. There were 2 Gaelics and there were 4 Belgics, or there were a lot of Belgics. The 4th one of course being the Belgian land. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I will see you in the next one. Take care. Bye bye.